and y'all have an agreement, then that's that. If the courts get involved and then it end up being a different situation, and even if you end up paying less than what you was giving her hand over fist, I still can't say nothing about you because you're doing what you're supposed to do. Whether it's what you chose or whether it's something that was imposed by the government. Can I interject
something? Can I interject something?
What?
Okay. A white man went to war because the government got involved with what was going on in his home. Went to war. Got together, got their rifles, and start killing other people.
I'm not
Hold
talking
on now,
about
I'm
that.
going somewhere with this. I'm going somewhere with
I like
this.
the way you started.
They started murdering other human beings because the government was meddling in their affairs. Now here we are in a debate and saying they set the standard for what we should be doing. Hold on now, I ain't finished. Hold on now, I ain't finished. Now, it just stands to reason that that is inappropriate behavior. Because if the actual federal law is that the government does not have the right to mandate what is right for us or infringe on what our rights are to exist, live in liberty, peace, and happiness, then how then can they come and interject what is supposed to happen with our personal finances? Because see, when they said to them white folks, y'all gonna pay this, and this, them white folks when they got their rifles and start killing them.
That's not what I said.
That's what I said.
But because you're saying you're saying that I brought up saying that the government can set the standard of living for us.
Well, you did. You said your exact words.
Let me
if
finish.
You're doing what they say you're supposed to do, I don't have no argument with that.
Let me interject.
All
I'm trying to control the conversation because we going on almost an hour and a half.
All right.
Whoa. Let me control the conversation.
That's a long time, ain't it? All right.
What I said was, once you get into a position where you allow the government to set the standard, then that's that. The whole point.
How do you allow?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
By getting them involved in the first place.
Let me finish. Why are they getting involved?
Why?
It all starts from the root problem. Both of y'all had a child out of wedlock, and somebody decided that the agreement or that the arrangement was not working for them in how that child is being cared for.
Do I get a chance to rebuttal this?
No.
Oh.
Because I'm just making a point.
Oh.
The simple fact of the government don't get involved until somebody decides that they need to be involved. And the whole point is that you cannot...
That's not true. That is not true.
How is not true?
Because
whether it's an intentional decision or not.
Oh, okay. All right.
Whether it's an intentional decision or not.
All right.
You can subconsciously have something happen as to where somebody feels like the living standard is not.
All I'm saying is when the government said what them white folks had to do, them white folks when they got their guns.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
So
got their guns.
Outside of child care, let's talk about marriage. How do you handle being a provider if it comes to a situation where the woman is making a larger income than the man?
Well, you still got to be the man, even if she's making more money.
But how is that handled though? Because people, again, going on the 50-50 thing, sometimes when people get married, they keep expenses separately.
Yeah, well.
But then that's you don't need to get in that type of situation if you want to.
That ain't a marriage, that's a contract.
Yeah, it's not if you want to keep everything separate.
Nowadays, people treat marriages like contracts.
Very much so.
But it is a contract. Like, you don't have to treat it like a contract. You sign over your paperwork.
Well, some people do it physically, like, you know.
It's a contract.
So do y'all think
that's what people have made it before it was not as so?
I get, like, the question is, do you think that expenses should be separate
in a marriage?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Should be one pot. Divvy it up. Like whatever my check goes to that particular account.
That's
You
what
disperse it.
With this
yeah.
person, yeah.
You disperse it well.
It's some people that do not live that life.
50-50, huh? I know a few.
50-50.
I know a few.
Some 50-50.
I know some 50-50 people. And I mean,
They
but
miserable
what I
ass.
think is, I think you should do whatever works for you and your situation.
I think Taylor
Like
made
I have
the best too.
I have a close friend, him and his wife, they go 50-50 on everything. And that's what works for them. Like, they don't have an issue with whatever. I mean, of course, if something happens, you know, one will try to take care of the other. But, I mean, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you, I think.
I'm not a Bible, like, thumper. But doesn't it say, like, when you get married, two become one?
Yes.
It says that, right?
I believe in that.
So why you want to keep things separate? Like, if two become one and you still got two
I
separate...
can't remember
everything,
who
two
said this. Was
separate
it
accounts.
Aristotle? Everything is permitted. Nothing is forbidden. Do as you will. Was it Aristotle that said
I don't know.
that?
I'm trying to get
Or
me pull
Pluto?
that at the head chat. I'll be
Anyway,
back.
somebody
I've been
real
out of high school
famous
10
once
years.
said that. And let me tell you something.
Literally.
That rule is what dictates society.
Right.
See, like he just said, you know, it works for some. See, that's that whole mentality. If it works for us, then hey, we're gonna go with that. So now you have no reason to have any type of unity in society because everybody doing what they will.
Yeah, that's true.
So now you have this chaos that's brewing and just. Why do you think that everything that's happening right now is so anti-God?
I got a reason for that.
Conversation.
No, because people started to pull back like the curtains in the church. I think that's why people become so anti-God. They see how the pastors you live in and things like that. All of the
Crap.
yeah, like all of the mess. I'm trying. What's the term? The scandal.
But I don't
All
think
of the scandals between the church is why people become more spiritual rather than religious. Why people they don't really want to participate in the church setting, but they want to have. You hear that term more often. A relationship. You want to have your
I think
relationship
where the
with God.
mistake comes in is when people make a claim to religion, whether it be a pastor, whether it be a deacon, a mother in church, blah, 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 whatever. We put them at a certain stature. And we're also forgetting that at the end of the day, they're
they're human
human.
at the end of the day, yeah.
And the Bible, and you want to bring the Bible into it, the Bible say we all fall short.
Yeah.
So instead of making it seem like, okay, so you're proclaiming yourself to be a pastor, you have to live as such. It's unrealistic
Yeah, it's
because at the
unrealistic,
end of the day, they're going to fall short. They're going to make mistakes.
Here's my thing.
We was
I'm
talking
not
about
bringing.
providing.
That's what I was gonna say.
We on
I'm
religion
not-
now.
I'm not bringing.
Go there.
We're not gonna put this in the direction of the church. I am with Omar in saying that it should be tailor made, and this is why. I cannot control anything but what is within my ecosystem. When I decide to be in a union with a man, we need to be on one accord. What's gonna work for me and him is what's gonna work for me and him. Ain't nobody gonna come in between that. Me and him feel like we are becoming one. Our finances are becoming one. If you want to go over there and split your finances, you and your man gonna have separate accounts, then do that. Because I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
What works for me is what works for me. I'm not gonna stick my nose in nobody else's business or nobody else's union, because when you do that to me, I'm gonna close the door in your face. That's it. I feel like the only way to make sure that my man feels like a man is that everything that we have together is one. I also feel like when you separate expenses, it cultivates discourse. Because how am I going to be the provider of a home and make sure that my home is the way that it needs to be if I don't even know what's going on with my finances, or if something falls short somewhere and I have to constantly go behind my husband and tell him what I need or ask him of something instead of us sitting down and planning things together.
Do you guys really think that exactly everybody kind of thinks like that? Like, okay, like the family unit is supposed to be a certain type of way, right? But some people just kind of are living to, I don't know if it's just living to get by or maybe to just live just for you to be comfortable, I guess, as a person.
Well, society in itself is living proof that everybody do not think like that.
Absolutely. So it's like if one person is like, okay, this is like if a group, a marriage couple, if they feel like this works for us, like we don't have any fights, we don't have any arguments. He has his half, she has his half. Like that's what works for me. You get what I'm saying? Like, is it really?
That's why
is it really necessary to kind of like break that and be like, yo, you should, bro, you should be paying for the rent 100%.
I'll say this.
You know,
I'll say this. If you get 5 million families across this nation that start doing what works for them, and that thing take root and it becomes known, I'll give it 5 years before something comes about to affect changing that. Because if we look back at history right here in our country, you look at all the trends that made families stronger, find one of them still in play right now.
You right about that.
Ain't no dinner table.
I don't know what you're saying.
You know, I don't know what you're
Ain't no talking around the dinner table.
because we grew up in a household where it was my dad's rule that everybody sat down at the dinner table.
My mama talked about that. She talked about how she hated that he did that. In the moment, she hated it because she always had to deal with. And y'all know how kids get when they get hungry. Yeah. She had to deal with 5 of them, and 2 of them was under the age of 5. But my daddy said, "Ain't nobody eating till you come pick me up from work and we get home."
It goes back to what I said. There's no structure. Who wants structure? Nobody cares about structure. They want to do what they want.
They want the benefit of the structure. They don't want to live through the structure.
Exactly.
So if you get a bunch of people that start doing them and it works, I guarantee you within 5 years something will happen within the hierarchy to disrupt that.
The length of marriages.
It's
short. The length of marriages now.
When we talk about that kind of stuff, it kind of bothers me because they talk about the amount of things that women put up with and how they not for it and this, that, and the third. And then we come into the thing where people feel like they have too many options. Back then, that wasn't the case. My grandparents were married. My grandparents were married for over 30 years, and my granddaddy put my grandmama through the wire. And still, she put her marriage first, and she put her family first, and she loved her husband. She didn't go anywhere.
Is that not to
Well, that wasn't the situation with my grandparents. Now, one of my grandparents, my grandfather put my grandmother through the ringer. But on the other side, man, I saw like this cookie cutter perfect relationship. I mean, it wasn't perfect because they argued, they fought, but they never went to sleep on their anger. And I don't care how intense the argument was, at the end of the day, she always won him over or he won her over.
And you know what? One thing that I respected in our childhood, you and my mom, y'all never let us see you argue.
Not like
never.
Mm-hmm.
So when something went wrong, let's use the example of you guys separating. When that happened, it was kind of like a shock to us.
Well,
because we was like, we didn't know what. We were under the impression that everything was good. Our parents never had a disagreement in front of us. It was always behind closed doors, and I respect that.
I feel like it's healthy for kids to see disagreement sometimes because they have to know that it's okay for people to have a difference of opinion. But I feel
only
like
if you can manage the disagreement.
Yeah, right. I feel like it's important for them to see that at some point.
Healthy. Arguments.
Yes.
Yeah.
They need to see at some point what you got to come together.
It's not all perfect.
Yeah.
But I respect the situation that they had back then because you had to deal with the situation. You had to go through it. It's flight nowadays. I don't
because people
I ain't gotta tolerate this.
People feel like they got so many options.
But it's flight.
But we developed that palate ourselves.
No, we didn't. It was force fed to us.
You think so?
Of course it was.
It's plenty of people like, girl, you ain't got to take this.
There you go.
You ain't got to put up with that no more.
And where they got that idea from?
This is
where did that person that said you ain't? Where did they get that from? TV, radio, media.
I guess.
Yeah, the portrayal is that once you married, it's marital bliss. Like there's nothing that you have to go through, just finding out certain things in my family. Like some stuff I've heard, I'm like, I can't believe y'all went through this.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Well, see, that's
you know?
crazy because as a child, we weren't taught that. We were not.